because it'll be cool for me. But if not, it continue to be in here, recorded in YouTube. I can edit this to make more small contents, and I will do that. Anyways, I need an accomplishment for myself. That's in my control. And I'm doing, not procrastination that. We are talking about the procrastination today. One part of this content, but let's go. So, doing our classical check-in, one word here, how are you enter the session, your feelings, and to be good to you know if you are watching the future, or if you want entering here and want to send in the chat, you can send and I will interact to you with you to yourself knows and identify. I know I'm in the edition mode of the PowerPoint is because I will it. Let's see. Nobody warned me, but I put in here. So it will be good for yourself to know if you are absorbing this content in a good way, or if not, you don't need to watch right now and can watch another day to keep your attention and not being multitasking. So this question is for yourself too. And two will be a policy if it's the priority for now, or you can do another stuff. So you can send your expectation, as I say before, you help me to adapt the content in now or in future contents. So not to be from 8:30 to 10. I think now it's 9. And normally I do like a count. So we have 30 slides, and I will navigate in some screens. So multiplying is multiplying when I say multiplicando. Multiplying. So multiplying by 2, maybe will be around the 1 hour. That's why I'm thinking I can finish it from 9 to 10. But it's ambitious expectations, but let's do it. If not, I can stay until 10:30 to finish this, and it will take a lot of heavy commitment that I did with myself to do that. So this is a free training still and a sales video. I know you know that. A lot of people are doing that for some years now and do some free masterclass and they end saying something, and I'm doing the same. So we will have in the end after this training, I will give you an overview about my course and mentorship, and entering my website, looking with you, navigating there and talking about some parts of in there, and enter inside of the platform that has the online course and where I will publish you when we start to do the live classes in English. And it will be good to have a feeling if this is for you or if not. If you are watching since the day one, watching day two, and you continue watching, I believe that this is delivering value for you. So it's possible that my course and my mentorship will help you too. So I'm sure you've already said and thought this type of quotes. We saw that in day two, and this continues to being true in here. And the whole thing, this whole content that I'm creating about sustainable productivity, is to help you to get out from there, to get out from this type of contests. And of course, as I said before, our life is with a lot of variability. Some days will be good, another day is not, and this can appear again. And we can be mindfulness in the moment, understand it, and be our own police to decide that, oh, I have these ways to do it to improve now, or maybe I'm tired and I will not be productive today, and accept that. So I have these strategies since the day one, and talking with you about some strategy and practices to deal with that, to cope better with that. So today about the flexible plan, talking about the content, we'll talking about mastering continuous improvement. And one thing that we will talking here is about bad habits and procrastinations that happen with us, and which strategies we can do it, why procrastination happens, and how how we can deal with that, not only with procrastination but other bad habits. And I will show you some templates that I use it for me with myself, and with strategies and I normally do it, and good practices. So it's the formidable enemy, the procrastinator, and the eternal battle. It will never end. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. So it's some I have these strategies to how to overcome it, over overcome it. It's the strangest pronunciation. Works most of the time. So, on some recap from day one, we talk about intentions, about the hypothesis of value. We talk about prioritize to give you some direction, how to do that in practice. In day two, yesterday, we talk about the work visibility and flow management, how to stop multitasking, and how to say no and in practical ways. And today it will be about mastering continuous improvement, disconnected all the practices together. So this is connected. You notice in day two that this practice is connected with the other one, and it will be similar with today. I showed you that for you in the day two. So I said earlier again that not every day will be productive. Not every day we will accomplish it, some good habits. Some days we will not practice any good habits. Will be empty. In here there's a little bit, but some days we will not practice what we want as a good habits for us. And I brought this. This is the reference. It's an Instagram profile, and I noticed that I didn't reference it in day two, and I brought in here. So we shouldn't ignore our mistakes. Like, oh, I can't do any mistakes, I can't fail, because you will fail. It will happen. So we can learn it through them. I never lose. I either win or I learn. This quote from Nelson Mandela is very cool and connects very well with what I'm bringing for you today. So this is something for some people is very, very difficult to accept it, that you will fail, and doesn't make us as a person that will only fail, but will. I think this how I say this crazy. It isn't the best one. We will fail during our journey in life. I will fail today. I will fail tomorrow. I failed yesterday. I failed the last week, but I have some winnings too. And when I failed, I learned from them, or I try to learn it, and not to repeat again. But sometimes we repeat these fails. Depends of us to accept it, how was the risk when this happens. If it was okay or if it was very bad. And maybe sometimes the very bad can be only in our mind. Doesn't mean that this true. We are overthinking, or the people judging you if you fail. Try to understand if it's a really something that it is unacceptable, because the most part of the time it is acceptable if you're not a bad person, of course, if you're not doing a lot of things wrong. And if you are a person that is doing a lot of things wrong and don't notice, it's because You have a other type of mind that I want to follow up in my channel. Possibly that you will be a hater. And I will do my best to ignore you. So, talking about this retrospective, when we looking for our past and try to understand the things that we fail and the things that builded who we are. These blocks will be made by fails too, not only success. So the days when you feel worthless, look back on everything you've accomplished. Don't focus in the bad things that happened. It's already the past. Focus in the right now, in the moment, and what you have in control to do better in the future. And just connected with another practice that's in Portuguese. From my, this some part of the thing that I was doing before we started. Let me put in here. I was adjusting the Portuguese slides. So talking about the future, there's some practices that you can do futurospective. And I will show you one example in here. So normally you are using this retrospective to look forward, to look in the future, and disconnect with the day one when we talk about creating goals, intentions. So there's a lot of practice to frameworks or a list of questions similar with the what I brought to you in day one. Talk about the value that you want to deliver, the hypothesis of value, what connects with your values as a person and your principles, something that you have fixed dates to committed. So you can do this type of exercise to saw that during a year, during 6 months, you can see in a high level and go breaking down to see how you can do that better. And this is some part of the middle to the end of it, what we talking about in day one. So starting with the retrospective to go in my more detail, how I do with myself. This is my personal one and it's very similar when I do in companies. And I will show you some practices and some references that you can navigate. So this is is print screen. This both. It is a print screen from my Notion. I said before in the masterclass in other days that I used it before Trello for some years and I migrated all my things to Notion and some part of Notion different from Trello is this type of few weeks that you can create like a documents in here or like a Excel like a table. I will enter in this retro retrospective first and I have this spreadsheet with myself. Is some of the things that it is not negotiable for me. Normally I do not this one. Normally I do weekly. Not every time it works like the other design that some weeks I don't do it. But this is for me not forget to do it myself with myself. So what I have in here is like a framework to do the retrospective for me in a quick way. Normally, after you in here, there's a lot of stuff that I identify for myself to improve it and to continue is doing. But it's normally that week by week, I updated some words or some phrases or after the first time that you are doing recurrently. So normally in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I do it myself in a week and helping me to understand what will be my intentions for the next week. It's a small part that is very important to do it. I will give you some zoom in here. So the framework is just four type of questions. So what I need to keep for me that it was good to keep it doing next week or next 3 weeks. So I noticed that I'm improving myself. I'm mastering myself. So my interpersonal relationships, my personal and professional development. I'm trying to be a middle term in optimism and realistic. I don't remember when I was pessimist. I think talking out loud right now, I was remember the time that I was in Dublin that it was very difficult for me, and in that time I was a little pessimism about some stuff in there, but I was more to look into optimism way and be more realistic. The things that can be wrong, I have risks, but in more optimism way. I don't know if it translated the color correctly. Let me see from Portuguese. Uh, I think it's better other otimista. Optimist. I think is more correctly what I mean want to put in here. Optimist. Optimistic. Mindfulness most time as possible. Other things that I mean master myself, meditations, bath work, trying to eating healthy food the most part of the week, not every time. Moving, doing movement with myself, very important. And journaling, I talk about the journaling day one, that is the practice from Stoicism. Doing this type of a thing in here is like a type of journaling. Focus on productivity with my goal intentions, doing experiences that I like it. It's very important for me to have a clean space, organized home. Investing in my methods for myself, creating organic content, doing this launch. Some things to improve, and let me go through here. And of course, there are things to I need to stop. Talking about procrastination, look at that. Who doesn't? Start scrolling when we see it. Past 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour and 30. Procrastinate with moving series. It's entertainment, but if I'm doing only that, I'm not producing myself to master the others part of who I want. Drink more than one wine glass. One wine normally is good for me. Don't drink beer or any alcoholic beverage different than wine. It's a trigger very bad for me. I like it. I love beer. And normally when if I'm in a social way, enjoying with friends, it's very tempting for me. Eat processed foods, something that we need to stop. So we have this framework is an example. I showed you in here. Let me take it out of the Zoom. This one. So 4 questions in here, this framework. What I needed to keep it for myself, I want to keep it. What I needed to add or improve, what I needed to stop. This column can be separated to add or improve. What I needed to stop. Normally can be in different columns and represent the same thing. Depends how you write. And what achievements and gratitude for me. What things I've been doing that I'm grateful for. Of course, you saw it a lot of other quotes and people saying about this and this. I'm showing how I'm doing and right. And this is the type of journaling that if you are not using a digital way, just writing in your notebook, your physical one, or in post-its, it will be very powerful to do that. And the other questions, it will be very powerful and help you in give you more clarity what you want for you in an intentional way for next week or in the future. This is about retrospective and helping futurospective. One thing that you need to be attention The actions that you put in here that you need to improve, probably you can add items in your agenda to not forget, because you will forget if you just give your this noted and put it away. In similar way, if you are doing with your team, to talk about it, let's look for the last week of your work. Let's look for the last month. What we need to keep that we are doing good. What you need to add or improve. What you need to stop to do it in the next week, the next cycle of your work. What we are grateful for. And this is very powerful questions with your team too. And if you have the actions in here to do it in next cycle, in next week, in next month, put that, add that in your Trello, or put that in your Kanban, put that in your Jira, depends the platform that you are using with your team. Because if not, you forget. If you put in a different project, or if you're putting a different visual, different than Kanban that you normally look at, probably you forget. And this retrospective is like to throw away if you're not keeping track of the actions that you need to improve it together or improve it for yourself. So what I normally do, I I put some focus block for me specific days should happen. This is a similar way. This is I'm showing how I'm doing about the launch of this masterclass. This is a way that I keep the commitment with myself. And this is a good practice too. We'll see it in next slides that strategies. It isn't me that I mean taking out from my head, but it's from studies in neuroscience and good practices to mitigate procrastination. Futurospective. Futurospective is looking for the future. As an example that I said before, we did in day one talking about using OKR frameworks in day one, and doesn't need to be exactly as a OKR. You can talk it like you're writing as a diary. Oh, what I want for me in the future, and you can give you a space, like as I said, in 1 month or 1 quarter, and this can be in a high level view, and after you can break it down as an example that as we use it in day one to talk about prioritization, how to slice effectively. Let me see what's to be. So I talk about a lot of about procrastination. We will see more slides about that. That it gives us frustration when we procrastinate, right? And we'll talk more about the reasons in a neuroscience way. Um, and good practice to deal with that and deal with that thinking that it's like an experiment, and we will always need to recycle. So not we will have something, always will have something to improve. We will always have something to improve. Never ends. Accept that. You to never end things that we need to improve. It's the never end backlog. It's the never end to do. We will always have this growing in our life, in our work. And we talked about that I think day two or day one. No, don't remember, but I I told you about that again. I told you, and I'm telling you, you'll not be a surprise. You will have always something to do it to improve. We always think is new to deliver, and this needs to be in your work visibility and to help you on how to prioritize how you saw in day two. Some things about how Stoicism philosophy connect with the future perspectives when you are creating a future that you want intentions, and this connects a lot with you. We saw it in day one. So focus on now more than the future or the past. Of course, we need to create plans to be intentional what we want for us, and the past is what made us until now. have a lot of good things about a lot of learnings from there, and but focus more on now because it's in here that we have control. Knows what it is, and I think I forgot to put it with here. Knows what it is in your control and what it isn't. This is very connected with stoicism too. Learn from the obstacles. Obstacle is the way. We will always learn something, and we will always have the obstacles in our way. Accept the chaos. Easy to deal with the uncertainties. You'll never be right. So talking about the chaos and connected with the uncertainties. So we'll always have things that we are not certain, and it will not be easy to deal that. You need to practice more of this type of mentality if you are not in doing right now, and this will get easier. This will get a lot of easier if you accept that what is in your control, what isn't, and how to cope with that or adapt. Some questions that you can keep in mind and help you to connect with futurospective and what you saw in day one. What goal, dream, project are you pursuing? Day one, if we talk about OKRs for work, company, and we talk about how to use the wheel of life a little bit. How to use the wheel of life, you doesn't have any direction what you want for you. It's a way to do this type of question. Is the journey of next steps clear to you? It's connected with I talked now, yeah. Talk about more procrastination in Parkinson law. Did you heard about that? Did you saw in another place? And this is very cool. This is called to student syndrome. And in this analogy, so we have like this. How do I say issue in English? I forgot it. Let's see it. Issue and axis. Axis. So let's come back. One thing that I'm doing, if you didn't notice, I closed the tab in here that I'm not using. I talked about in day two digital decluttering. This is a way that is a habit for me and is naturally because I'm doing that from a long time. And I recommend that you do that too because if not, we will keep growing the tabs and the alt tab and taking out your focus and keeping your mitigate, keeping your multitasking. So let's come back. We are talking about procrastination, Parkinson law, and student law. Student law, no, student syndrome. So in this analogy, we have this axis called the time allowed, something that we need to do in a certain point of time. And we can have like I think it'd be cool if I do like a line here. And imagine that we have like a time here, a due date that we need to deliver something. And that's just uh, is accommodating me a little bit because it's not totally totally um, totally right. No, but it's okay. It's my talk. So imagine that you have in this x x-axis in time allowed that you have a time that you need to deliver something. You start from here, from zero. When you receive this due date that you need to deliver something here, or a fixed date, or you put it for yourself. Example, this masterclass. I put it for myself that 12/11, 12 November 12th, I would do a masterclass. And this is a y axis. I forgot how to say y in English, but it's okay. So I have this axis that represent the efforts. So during a time, when I put this due date for me, I start to do it. A lot of preparing the configurations in YouTube, preparing the ideations that I was having, to create this content. Let's come back. I dropped my mouse. So during this time, I was starting to doing the ideations and doing the configurations YouTube, doing the slides, and some after some time it was passing, I decreased my effort to do this stuff, to do the launching. And during this moment, I was doing more, a little bit more, not exactly like that, but a little bit more in here. But the biggest effort for me to prepare that it was in these last days because I didn't finish it because I was procrastinating. So some people do better with procrastination and with things that we do, but we everybody procrastinates, everybody. And there's a good reference that I brought in the next slides. It's a very cool TED talk. I recommend a lot for you to watch it. That to talk more about that. And we always do that. And so one thing that if you know you normally procrastinate, using this technique to put a due date for you or a fixed date will help you to accomplish it. This is one of the strategies to cope with the procrastination. If you put it only with yourself, it's easier to, if you're not communicating with anyone or if you're not in commitment with the other people, just with you, normally we fail. So I put in there the YouTube, I divulgate my website. I want to improve this project for myself. Talking about my course, my online course, my course, my only online course and mentorship. This is good for me not only uh, seeing people get it transformed about this knowledge too, and dealing better with that frustration that I brought in the beginning slides with the Dory from Nemo. So this will be awesome for me to see people really being transformed with this content. It's something that I do during my work in companies, and for some years from now, and is awesome for me when I see it people getting more to the side of the sustainable productivity and not being overwhelmed all the time. So one part of this is with that, and of course I'm not giving everything free. I want you to live better. I want you to. We need money to pay the bills, to live better, to eat better. The comfort is good too. So I'm seeing these side projects to achieve that. So I put this due date for myself with these objectives, and you can do with this with you too. This is one strategy and one practice that we will see other ones. Next slides. More about procrastination. This is something to self-knowledge for us. We feel that, but we forget. So if we have focus work for a long time, we will feel good. We will feel fantastic in here. And here is the optimistic way to see it. But this is what really happens. When I finished the day two yesterday, and when I finished this live in day one, I was feeling fantastic. It was really, really fantastic. And when I'm just procrastinating, I'm feeling like trash. Culpability? No. I don't know if this is correct. I closed this window. It's supposed to keep it open. Culpa. Guilty. I'm feeling guilty that I didn't do some work that I supposed to do. That I did commitment with myself. So feeling like trash. We don't need to. We can understand in here in this scenario. Remember of the retrospective. What is the actions that you can do to not happen this again? One of them is the example that I gave you in the last slide. put commitments for you in your agenda because you forget. Use the agenda as a tool for you to not keep it just in mind the intentions that you have for you. You don't need to put every task in agenda. Use the Kanban from that. Of course, can be connected, as I say in other the day one, day two. They supposed to be the fixed date and the due dates, but you don't need to have every task in there. As example, using my calendar, I add some of them, but no, not all of them. Normally, I use this type of tasks in Google Agenda. You can use in other type of agenda that you use. If you use the from Apple, I think there's the calendar from Apple. If you use your Outlook, you can do the same. You don't need to use the task type. You don't need to use the colors, but this helps a lot in organize yourself, materialize your time. And talking about this commitment, I don't remember if it will be another slide, but I will do one thing with you right now. And this is for myself, but if someone is watching, it's for you because of the transformation that I want to do it. I was thinking about these last days that I can do more lives and I can do this due date to happen. Not specifically a masterclass, but free content, and like 30 minutes. Not like this one that will be 1 hour and a half or a little bit less. So one thing that I want to do, I'm doing practice with you, talking about procrastination and how to deal that and not to repeat again. So I'll put it TSP method, and I like to use the emojis. Let me use the emoji here. Sparkles. And I'll do free life. Just be good to. I'm starting to produce more content. It'll be good to grow my business. So free life, free YouTube live. And normally when I use this color for me in gray, it's just I want to do it, but I'm not committed so much. So talking about that, I think it will not be like that. I think I put it green. Normally, this green for me is something that it makes me grow, and I need to do that. Is important. Not the other ones. It is important, but remember that time when I say the managing your agenda in day two, I'm doing that right now to show you how. Probably in here, I will do some preparation of this material and communication about it. I'm not inputting the tasks in here yet, but I will do that in next days. Normally, when I'm doing this type of retro and plan the next 2 weeks, I'm not do that every weeks. Normally, it's I'm plan for the this week. What I have intentions for me, and this is like a guideline for me to not forget what will help me in these intentions. It's all connected with Kanban and my agenda. As I say, these good practices from keeping the procrastinations away. So connecting with this practice and these connections. This is the TED talk that I mentioned before. Inside the mind of a master procrastinator. It's awesome. This is amazing. This guy is a reference for me in communication too. It's very inspiring. I recommend it for you. I extremely recommend it. Recomendo fortemente. Let me see. Recomendo fortemente. Highly recommended. I highly recommended. So let's continue. Framework you need to beat procrastination. This is an article recently that I saw recently from James Clear talking about this word acrasia. What does this word means? Refers to our tendency to fall victim to procrastination. Remember that I was using the word guilty. Normally, people say just in guilty space and doesn't get out from there. So exists a word for that. This is a crazy. The first time that I saw it. And how you can beat this a crazy. Some good practices. The due date of that I showed you before, connecting with Parkinson's law is away. The other ones. Strategy one. Design your future actions. We talk about futurospective and define a goal, intentions in day one in my masterclass, right? The strategy two. Reduce the friction of starting. So this is some good practice of creating good habits. So if you want to create a good habits for you, you need to get out to triggers that get you in the bad habits, in that made you procrastinate. One example in here, there's some example that James Clear used it about a history of this Eliezer. But the example that I will give you, let me come here to not read it, and not me to not me read it. Example that I will give you about this type of triggers. If you leave your cell phone close for you when you are going to sleep, what will happen? You normally you get it. It's a visual thing that makes part of us, and we are going automatically to there to look at and to navigate and being procrastinating there and go sleep late. If you're not going to sleep late, probably when you wake up, if you leave your cell phone close by, you get him and start to procrastinating there, looking social network, look at the messages or replying. You don't get up to do the things that it will be better for you. So this is an example of taking out the triggers for you, getting away from triggers from you that makes you procrastinate, and it will be bad for us. It is similar with this image. Remember of that. I always remember of that. Of course, some a lot of times I procrastinate, but I keep it more focused during a week. Of course, it happens weeks that will not be so productive. It's similar with this image. It will help you to remember that. So the another strategy in here that James Clear bring to us is utilize implementation intentions. We talk about a lot about intentions, and one thing, a good example here, I will exercise for at least 30 minutes on day X in place X at time X. If you add in your agenda, you are doing that. If you want to create a good habit in your agenda, using that as a guide for you be intentional in your life, you are doing exactly that. You are putting an intention in here, one thing that you need to improve for yourself or in your work. If you put a focus block in your agenda to do some specific work or agenda to talk with people, you are doing exactly this. You're putting a date to solve something, you're putting a place, and you're putting a time. This strategy is exactly what we've been saying these 3 days. I brought another reference to help you to connect that. And it's summarized, not so detailed as this live masterclass. So let's continue. Another tool that you can use it. This is my habit tracker. I created a template in my in one Excel. By the way, I need to put that in my website too. To be free, to be okay, to be free. And I adapted it a lot during the times that I was using. And normally I just mark like that if I accomplish that. But look, some days I didn't do that. So I wasn't being so intentional what I want for me. I have a lot of lines in here, some things that is good habits that I want to keep it. A lot of them are connected with my agenda to not forget, because I will not be looking during my holidays in here. But one practice that I go intentional with that example, as James Clear was putting in that article, is that in the end of my days, I have this recurrence to review my day to see if I have to update something. course, I do during the day, but in here it's not forget. If I not did that yet, this is something that I need to do it. And I feel my habit tracker. And look at how I was this week. I failed a lot. Look at what I have in here. So looking in November, look at how I was. I didn't feel any of that. No, November. Yeah. Oh, why is it just can be like that? So this is my habit tracker for now. I don't do like as I said. I don't feel the all the things all days, but some good habits for me that can be my perfect day in here. This is a good practice too. I will not go profound in that, but something that is good for us to understand what will be a perfect day for us. And this is normally connected with the good habits. One thing that I put in here, like going in nature during the week, I'm in the office, I'm at home, and I'm not getting out so much. And I try at least go to do that during my weekend. It's a good habit for me too. Talking this first line about the sleep, that's very important, and I'm not doing for myself, but it's because I want to do that. I want to accomplish that with these lives. It's bigger for me for now. I wasn't supposed to do that, but why I put it in red in here? That's because when I will do my retrospective of this week, I will see that, and this is easy for me to assimilate. Oh, I didn't sleep in here. I don't need to do that in the next 2 weeks. Neither, never, because there's a lot of impact in here to high irritability, being tired during the day. This isn't happening these days. I think because I was very excited about the work that I'm doing in my job, that is being very motivated in the last 2 weeks because of the accomplishments that I'm achieving, and because of this masterclass. It's been being very motivated for me. The last weeks wasn't so much like that, but I think it's because that this is like putting balance my lack of sleep. So this is a way, in practical way, how to do that about the good habits. We are almost finishing the content. So I think we'll finish around the 10 or 10:15 maximum, I imagine. So let me drink here a little bit of water. So as you notice since the beginning, it will always be a journey of continuous improvement. It will never end until we die, imagine, or not. If you are very spiritual, or you have a faith in some religion, maybe you believe in some life after here, or just continue it after too, but we'll continue it if you have a belief like that. So we will always continue improving. If you want, do you want? I want. This is my control. Talk about stoicism and what we saw it a lot in these days too. This will be as we continue being human. I'm not the only one talking about that. If you're following me, if you like this type of content, of course you saw it a lot of the things in a different ways. I mean, sharing with my ways of saying, communicating. So why TSP methods? Now we finished the free training. I mean, entering this part that I keep it in here, that we are going in an overview of my online course and my mentorship. And TSP is the acronym for the sustainable productivity. Why? Why I created that? I created that from one day to the other day. Of course not. It was a journey to achieve what I have right now. That we will navigate more in here and see in practice how was right now, the current status and the next steps, the next lives that I'm doing English, not the free ones, but the for the students that do the subscribe to participate in that, the next version, because it will be talk about the continuous improvement. I have a version one of this method that I published from 2022 to 2023, and this version will come with continuous improvement too. Because I do live, I will review the material, I will add some connection that I did in this time since then. It's all connected with the version one, but with improvements. So I'll continue to do that. I like to share knowledge too, just talk about the transforming people's life and influence that is is awesome for me too. When this happens, I mean, very grateful that I can do that, and it's something that I've been practicing along a lot of years now. I've been doing that. I started to do trainings in the past in Excel, SharePoint, and it's when I discovered the knowledge management from Nonaka and Takeuchi, and I think it did in that time it was 2012, 2012. And since then, I was learning on the job new things, new expertise, and sharing with other people. And that's how I arrived at this moment. Adapted a lot to what my journey gave me, what I learned from there, and I consolidate in that the sustainable productivity. And this is for this type of for who is this? You can be in any of these ones, or you can be in a lot of these scenarios. This is something that is inside of my website. For who is this? So you are feeling overwhelmed by tasks and deadlines, struggling to focus and avoid distractions. Avoid, struggling to avoid distractions. Oh, now I read in out loud. This is strange. How is? But you are struggling to focus and struggling avoid distractions. You are feeling unproductive. You have too much on your plate and if you're stretched thin. Can't stop multitasking. Can't find the time to relax. You get to the end of the day and feel like you haven't done anything. You can't sleep well, overthinking about the many things you need to do. If you are seeing in any of these contexts, the sustainable productivity will help you to get out from here, to not suffer in this anymore. It's the same for this. Oh, I didn't adjust this one. Let me put in here. So it's the same for this type of frustrations. The sustainable productivity and these contents from these 3 days will help you in overcome this type of content, this type of scenarios, this type of scenarios. I'll navigate with you in my website to say some things more about what we have in there. And I will start soon to create more blog posts. It will be free content and it will can help you too. Let me open here. Let's see how you appear. If you want to receive this news about the new blog posts, you just fill your email. So when I create new ones, will arrive in your inbox. So let's get out a little bit of the Zoom. So this practice will help you if you are in these scenarios too. You work remote in a hybrid or you are a hybrid workers. The focus for this type of people that is inside of that. But if you're doing presential work, you can use that too. Minimal for yourself. I believe you notice that in these days. So in here, there's the part of you for who it is. The four core values. This is very important in my sustainable productivity. This will help you to manage your energy and time effectively. So we are talking about this light of the sustainable productivity, and imagine that in this diagram, the principal thing is take care of you. Before you start to studying a lot and not sleeping well, lack of sleep as I showed you, before you do that or do that or do that, take care of yourself, take care of your health. Because if not, you'll not absorb that, it will impact you in everything in your life. So if you are doing in a certain way, taking care of yourself, we will continue the studying. So I know that I know nothing. I will always have something new to learn. Inside of this content is in my mentorship, in my online course. I will always learn new something, new things. I always will learn from someone. Everyone has something to teach me that I don't know yet. Minimum one thing. Minimum one thing. Everyone will have something that can teach me. Sustainable productivity too. I created this, but it's something that I will continue, as I say before, is continuous improvement. It's part of it is reflecting, adapt. So we will continue studying, we'll experiment. You need to understand that all these practices and strategies is good practices, and you will see it will work for you if you experiment. So studying in small batches. You don't need to study the whole content, so all the videos. If you get it understood a little bit, if you understood a little bit of a practice of a strategy, use it with yourself. A small part of you what you discover that is new for you. Experiment with yourself and reflect, adapt. Understanding how was these experimentations with you. It's a scientific experimentation. And reflect, and this it will continue this flow. Taking care of yourself is one of the core values. Study is another core value. Experimentation, reflect, adapt is another one. It's four core values inside of the sustainable productivity method. Here there's more detail about that, what I say before. Here there's some testimonials. And this is very cool, as I say before, when I receive these feedbacks. And here there's, you can read it after if you want to. Here there's a little bit about me. I told you a little bit about me too, but you can read it here after. You can follow me in social networks. I will continue sharing more too. I have the links in here. This I'm telling you about what I put in like a disclaimer in this class. That you know I will sell you I will sell you something today. And what I'm selling here, you have the free contents that, as I said before, I will create. I'm starting. I recently configured the blog in this site, and I will. My intention is to create more blog posts and using AI, using chatbot, Gemini, and brainstorming together. I will do that. So creating more videos, more lives, knowledge pills on Instagram and LinkedIn. This is free. You can learn from there. So it's self-learning, the productivity basics. But if you want to go profound, if you want to learn more about the sustainable productivity, and if you want to help as a community, as I said, I don't know everything, and other people can teach me to, and this community for that. I have some students for now in a WhatsApp group. So if you enter in this option, in this plan, if you invest in that, you have lifetime access to this open group, the productivity nirvana community. You have lifetime access to my view version 1 of this method is recorded in Portuguese, and you have lifetime access to this version 2 that I will be launching with the new students that enter in here, enter in this option. The price is 98 euros. You have support, and I will personally reply to you. And you have a 7-day money back guarantee. If you don't like that, if you are not feeling that is not for you, you can get out, and it's automatically by the platform. So you just when you if you buy and you sign the and if you enter in the platform, the Hotmart platform that you will saw after looking the site, and there's an option that you can unsubscribe in there, say that you don't want anymore, you get a refund since you do that until 7 days. The other option here, the other investment is the coach program, and I will guide you closely. So the price is 149 euros. I will create weekly group meetings, so will be closed talks, special classes that we can have study cases and listen directly to you and other participants in a call and sharing lessons learned from there about how to be productivity in a sustainable way. I will do one-on-one sessions with you. It will be bi-weekly, 4 months of commitment to that. It will be 8 sessions, 60 minutes, and you can choose the this time. Oh, and when you click in here, I will click it to you see it. So this is the part of the payment permit here in Portuguese. So I can put in here in UK, no, United Kingdom. Is 84 in here? Is 98 in there? Oh, it's because it's pounds. They put in here like it was in Portugal before, right? Let me see. Oh, it's because of the conversion. Let me see when I was in Portugal. It's 98, yeah. So you fill the fields. This is from directly from Hotmart. That's the platform that is my course, online course inside in that. You put in your details and you can buy from here. I will come back. This 149 continues to be what it has inside. You have the access to the Productivity Nirvana community too. You have support, 7-day money guarantee. This doesn't include the online course. It's separated. If you buy this one, I can give you a discount to have this access. You can message me, you have my WhatsApp, and I will decide the discount. I can configure it, by the way, someone in the platform. So here there's these details about we have on the site. Is inside of the Hotmart too, is because this configuration is separated in their platform. You can see the time is available in here. Of course, we can negotiate this date. There's some configuration specific one in here, but when you are going inside, we can change the dates and time and adapt it for you. You need to enter and do the signing. Let me do the signing to see it. I will appear. Oh, I need to. I mean, in the anonymous mode, incognito one. I will not enter here, but just to show you how it is the process if you click it. Adapted inside my the sustainable productivity method. There's system thinkings in there that's connected to what you always saw until now. Their mental models, their get things done inside to Zen to done, the art of getting your shit done, agile development. A lot of part of my knowledge in productivity came from here. Is very connected with that. Agnostic agile, stoicism, minimalism, essentialism, creating good habits. We saw a lot today. AI, we saw it day one, we saw it day two, we didn't saw today, but of course, for all the questions that I brought in here today, you can use the AI and chatbot and help you in this journey too. Not only chatbots, but depends of your work, you can use the other ones. Yeah, I think who's watching, there's a little bit of sense of what we have right now. Maybe it isn't using. I break it this by here with you in day one, day two. It's a start. So in online course, my modules and class, what is inside? Here there's a picture of one of the class. We will enter in navigating there. So in model one, it's like a type of self-assessment. You have in model one in here, no, model zero. This one, model one, defining your priorities. Don't set goals, set intentions. In here, we are going more profound in there and do it together with you. It's similar material. Is we did it day one in here, small parts. In here, we are going deeply putting your plans in actions, materializing self-awareness of your time. There's a more content in here about the good practice in agenda management. We saw a little bit, I think yesterday. Yeah, saw yesterday day two. Effective prioritization in chaos is going deeply in this context to get into the flow, work visibility, talking about good management in meetings, nipping multitasking habits, be water, my friend, how to be more adaptable, managing productivity and productivity, planning without perfectionism, interruption management, procrastinate. This is very connected with the prioritization because sometimes we can think that we are procrastinating something, but probably it isn't the priority for now. So you this will help you to differentiate that. Differentiate that? No, I think I missed telling the wrong pronunciation. Mm, Let me open again my Google Translate. Differentiar, differentiate, distinguish, differ. Differ is good too. So you can differ, do this comparison. Sometimes we can think that being guilty of, oh, I mean, procrastinate that and that, but probably it isn't your priority right now. And you are procrastinate for good in that scenario. So one balance, a little bit of shit, a little bit of salad. We can have this balance, yeah. We don't need to eat just salad. Depends if you are vegan or vegetarian. I always forget. But we can have our escape. We don't need to only be the certain way because we are not a robot. We will do bad shit too. So infinite productivity and helping you understand how to recharge your batteries. Techniques to help you say no is some part I showed you yesterday, day two. In dopamine injection in real life, continuous improvement, futurospective. In here we are going deeply in this too. In the end, there's I talk about a little bit of infinity game. Is inspired a lot with this contest that I think the first time that I saw it was from the guy about the golden circle, Simon Sinek. I think Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek, I think is like that. Yeah, Simon Sinek. So he has a book talking about the infinite games about companies, and this is very correlated with your personal life too, our personal life. There's some master classes, book recommendations, movie documentary, and video recommendations. 5S methodology that came from Lean and from Japanese culture of work. Digital minimalism, digital declutter. This one is some terms that I told you above that I used inside in here. Talk about a little bit more agile that I used as a reference as adapting the sustainable productivity. Talk about Pomodoro and time boxes. It's very connected to what I say about focus blocks and how to good practice of agenda management. Doing challenges, which are self is a way. Rules is like work agreements. OKRs, we saw a little bit in day one. In here, we are deeply in this context. And stoicism, that's very connected with you all too and with your life, our life. As I've been saying this entire masterclass. And entering inside the Hotmart platform, this is the fact we will see it later. We are almost finishing the content for today. So in here I'm inside the Hotmart platform is the member area, and we have this productivity nirvana area, and there's a lot of things in gamification here, but I will not go in that. I'm just to show you if you purchase the online course, the both, because it's the plan in the middle of my offer. And if you buy the coaching mentoring, it will appear in here. So in here, if I want to watch the video, the video recordings, you can enter here. You can get the certificate if you want. But in here is like where you navigate in the content. There's some guideline in here about mentorship and questions. This is the Portuguese version that I launched in 2023. And here there's the whole class that we talked in there that I was showing for you. The agenda in my website. Let me take it out the audio. And you can watch in here in your own pace. So there's the whole classes in here. One of the different one we'll have in this new version the digital decluttering that we didn't have in version 1. This is one of the things that I was remembering different in these classes, besides the content that I will improve, of course, for this next group of students that invested in this project with me. And when I come back in here, if I go to home, you saw it if you enter in the TSP method version 2, you just saw the start here. That we have the schedule and the mentorship in here, and fact, the content should talk with me, the WhatsApp that I will add you if you buy the online course. And when we do we did we do when we do the classes, the live ones, I will publish the records as I showed you before in the Portuguese version. One thing that's cool to show you, to show you, to show you to using Japanese food. No, to show you. So this is like how I connected the modulus classes with my methods. They are connected. They all have experimentations and study to improve in every step. So we will start small. You'll see the module one with the classes, and you'll have practice in there in each classes. That before we start the next one, I'll give you some questions and exercise to advance for the next one. And after you are going one for the other ones, very similar with these days in my free masterclass, you will see these connections and how to improve in each part of that. And I did some analogy in here. I did some analogy in here that I'm showing you like a circle in here as it was you, it was me, trying to observe this light from the sustainable productivity. And if I'm doing this practice, I'm absorbing this light, this sun, and I'm being in a sustainable productivity, and dealing better with imbalances. And these other planets in here is other people, and this can be correlated, right? If you are doing commitments with them, we are close by some people, families or friends, and this will impact you in that. Principally in this in the middle one, taking care of yourself. And one another analogy that we can imagine here, imagine that we have clouds in our around your planet, around us. If this cloud is is, is blocking your view, is blocking your sun, if you are in a bad day, of course you will not produce very well. And this will impact this part that is the core value, the most important core value. Take care of yourself before trying to be productive in any ways. Injuring yourself. Don't do that. This is some templates that I showed you in these days. This is my Notion. Is one Notion that I took a long time ago when I launched the. There's evolutions from that, and these templates you have it when you enter in my classes when you buy it. But in the future, I pretend to put in to add free. One thing that I didn't mention that is important: the price for now is 98 euros, but it's very cheap considering what it has inside in there. I was putting a high value before. I reduce a little bit, doing more benchmark and accepting that I can reduce it. But if you don't buy it today, the next is versions, this price will go higher because I know how much how value has inside of it there, and I will see that people buying that. For now, I am not an influencer, but this will happen. I will continue producing content, and I will achieve more active users, and of course, this price will go high. So if you are interested in that, if you are seeing value of you, what I was showing for you in these 3 days, use that time to invest in yourself and enter with me in this project, and this price will just go higher. You can do benchmarks about the courses, about the content that I showed you that it has inside. Some type of then it will be 200 euros, 200 sorry, 2000, 2000, 2000 is uh, well, no, 2000, 2000. Some of the courses in there, principally in agile development or flow management, doing a benchmark. You saw that courses that are around 2000 euros. Inside of here that I'll bring it adapted to your life and to your context is just 98 euros. This is the this is the cheapest one, yeah. Let's reload. The coaching program is 149. I put a little bit of value in here, and I will invest my time with you. True. So that's why. And if I keep it the same value or cheaper or free, I will not have time to everybody. So use this as a time to invest yourself. And of course, I want you to. I will be very happy people buy it to improve my life. True. Let me. But I connected. I'm not for you. Of course, I want to sell. That's why I'm doing that show. But as I said before, it's very important for me that the people are being transformed by this content. And you doing some type of that, investing yourself, it's it isn't different if I'm doing all free. because you're free, you probably, oh, you watch it later and you'll never do it. And here you invest a bigger commitment for yourself. So I showed you already the member area and frequently asked questions about my method. Not for me. Okay, you can leave it. You don't need it. You can continue consuming the free content if you want. And one thing that I can guarantee you, it is for you. It is for everybody. This type of practice to be in a sustainable productivity. Maybe you already know everything, and for you, you don't care to learning new things. So you don't need to enter because it isn't the person that I'm looking for to help. I'm in here to help people that want to be helped, want to be helped and get out from that frustration that I brought before. What is connected? Why I created this sustainable productivity method? I don't know anything about productivity. It will work for you too because the content will come just as introductions as you saw in this masterclass, and you have like an intermediate level and advanced level of the content. So if you don't know anything, I will teach you on this journey. You don't have time. These objections is that's why you need to learn and practice these strategies. If you don't have time, it's just the first balloon from the slide with the Dory from Nemo. If you really put in action the exercise that I will give you, the strategy that I'm giving you, you'll never say that again. You always have time. Or when you say it, you'll notice that, oh, I have time. It's just I need to prioritize and decide where what I'm doing intentionally with my time. Is it works for, and you can put a type of a person here or role, specifically one, or your context is similar what I say about not for me. This is for everybody. If you're a human, this is for everybody. I think I don't know yet if when we will be all connected with Neuralink or similar companies, but getting that we will be continuous to be humans, it's for everybody. If you want to improve how are your productivity, how is your productivity? If you want to achieve a balanced way, nothing works for me. So, oh, and by the way, before I enter here, of course, sometimes we need to do some sacrifice. The problem is if you are sacrificing yourself all the time, all the weeks, all month, you need to get out from there. I mean, talking about that because the examples that I've been giving until here, showing my agenda and showing that I'm not sleeping very well these last days, is a sacrifice that I've been doing to deliver that. I procrastinated. It's a consequence of my procrastination to create this during the way that I had. It is my fault. It was in my control, and so I'm dealing with the consequence right now. So I'm not keeping doing like that. I will not sacrifice myself all the days to do that. So it's a balance, right? It's always a balancing how to do that. Nothing works for me. Will the sustainable productivity really work? If nothing works for you until now about how to be productive, maybe the approach that you are using for you, in how remember the core values that I brought. You are experimenting in small strategies with yourself. You learn something, and a small batch of learning that you get it. You reflect about this and implement and adapt it for you. You experiment for how long to see the results. Going a scientific experimentation. How long you did that? So do this type of question for you, because now we will get a own reply for you. If the problem is the strategies that you learn, or if that's you didn't really practice, you didn't really experiment with yourself and see the results and adapt. You reflect and adapt. One of the core values. So the sustainable productivity method, it isn't a magic tool that will transform you from one day to another one. It will be a tool that you can adapt for you in some parts. What you see that it can an intention, a hypothesis that can work with you, and you need to experiment to see if you work. Remember that you have a 7 days guarantee, so you can watch and practice some of the strategies that I will bring for you in my class. And if you don't like it, you can get it the refund, and it's automatically by platform. You don't need to send a message for me or for anybody. It will be automatically refund. So 100% online will be 100. It is 100% online. Maybe in the future, maybe some years from now, it's in my backlog. I will have presential events, but not for now. In the future, this will happen, and we'll have more meetings, presential ones. The sustainable productivity method is a way to. It's a way. This is important to say here. It's a way to achieve and keep a sustainable productivity. You have a lot of other ways to achieve that. You decided how we'll do it. I don't have control of you, but I can influence you if you want to change the way that you will be doing. Will reduce the overload for you. You'll cope better with stress, anxiety, frustration. So you have two alternatives for now. You can click and join the community. You can click and join the mentorship plus community. And this is the checkout. We are finishing this masterclass. So I'm open to questions, and I'm seeing doesn't have anybody watching right now. But as I say before, during this masterclass, to send me the message in the comments, send messages in DM, in Instagram, in LinkedIn. Normally is where I'm most active, and I need to be more, by the way. But it normally is where I access more and replying questions, replying DMs, comments, and I I want to this question to be replied in here in the comments to be good to the community to arrive in this video to see the value that you got from here. It will help other people too, and in a free way. It can be people doing searches in YouTube too. And we finish for today. Finish the masterclass. One delivery for me. For now, for me, because it doesn't have anybody, but it would be cool to see in the future this growing and seeing people getting value. So I will see you soon, probably in social networks, and we'll continue talking. Try to keep your sustainable productivity. Your healthy will appreciate that. See you. Have a good weekend. Have a good, almost a weekend, yeah. If you are watching today or the days, but doesn't matter the day where you saw it. It will be ever. It will always be a weekend. Have a good week. Have a good week. Bye.